Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back into another video. Today we have another teaser. It just came out around like 1 hour or something like ago, and this teaser actually confirms most of the information that I gave you guys. It's not Tigran, it is Raum, and Raum is sort of like a devilish character. And why is he a devilish character? I saw a lot of people saying that he is actually invoking the devil. It's not that, trust me, because with the picture that was tweeted today by Paladins, you get to see 3 stones, sort of like Skyrim, but that's not what we want to talk about here. Listen, the 3 stones, each one of them has a different symbol, alright? For example, the one on the right side has purple colors to the marks, and the marks are the exact same marks as Ceres. For those who don't know about the story of Ceres, she is possessed by the Abyssal Lord. We also have a skin that represents that Abyssal Lord, which is the Abyssal Lord Drogos. We get to see that during the event. There was the Rise of Fury event. On the end, we don't get to fight him, but we fight in front of him on that TDM map we have currently, where a lot of people use it to 1v1s. There's this big throne, and supposedly that's where that Abyssal Lord Drogo stands. What I don't understand on all of this, and this is why I wanted to mention this, is that Ceres gets, possessed. Her body becomes a vessel, and this is also mentioned in the Fury trailer, where it says the abyss did not hunger for a soul, it actually hungered for a body. So what they're saying is this person, which became Ceres, is actually possessed by maybe the power of the Abyssal Lord Drogos, but it does not mean that that's the Abyssal Lord Drogos, because with the Fury event we get to see Fury fighting the Abyssal Lord, so it's like just his power. Maybe he gets to turn people, maybe he gets to grab a body, give it the power, and it becomes what it is, like Ceres, right? Now the same thing sort of happened with Dredge. And why am I mentioning Dredge? If you look in the left side, the stone on the left side has the colors of Dredge, has the octopus or kraken symbol of, the story of Dredge, and it has the tentacles of the octopus or the kraken, right? That is another Abyssal Lord. This one is the one that represents the kraken, all right? This is the one who gave power to Dredge. In this case, Dredge supposedly is still the same, but now has a dark power. I'm guessing from the story of Ceres, Dredge is no longer the same person as before, just like Ceres, alright? Unless maybe there's actually here a very big story behind all of this, and just bear with me here for a second. Maybe Ceres is still the same person. Maybe all of the souls of the people that died on the city are within the core and so on, and maybe she now has the power of the Abyssal Lord Drogos. She got possessed, but she's still the same person. And maybe with this power, since she can see the future and so on, she knows a lot of things that are about to happen. Maybe she's actually part of the Abyss now, but she may actually be good. As far as I'm concerned, that could be a possibility, but maybe it's not, because, Fury is on the Angel's part, so it would be kind of weird, but it could still be a big turn up in the story that maybe Ceres is actually good and she's trying to stop the darkness herself. Maybe these 3 different Abyssal Lords, which, by the way, the one in the middle is still to be revealed, but it should be Raum, alright? But on his devilish form, not the one that we got to see in his human form. This guy has been teased to us many different times already. Actually, I said yesterday there was like 2 times. It's already been 3 times in IO's trailer, Atlas trailer, and the Furious trailer as well. There's also some arts of cards, like for example on the IO's card, I believe, and so on, like where this guy appears, and we get to know the story that basically he works for the magistrate. He's the one that basically makes Ceres exist in the first place, alright? He feeds her to the Abyssal Lord, then the entire city is destroyed. One funny thing is that they just didn't mention it, or they just did it wrong. They mentioned that not a single soul survived, yet one that was actually saved by the pyre, there was Furia. Supposedly Ceres is still alive, that's pretty much obvious, because she then remains with the souls within her weapon or whatever it is. And then we also have Dredge on the left side. That's why I was mentioning maybe Ceres still has control, maybe she's still the human form, but just with the powers, because Dredge himself, he died. And he comes back, he's still evil as he was before, he's still a pirate. But maybe he's actually not. Maybe because if you take a look into the story, he tried to steal the weapons from Imani with a purpose, but he was still human when he did it, and then he still went after them, he still guarded it, and he talked about the warders. So this guy actually may have some more story behind it that we don't even know about, and maybe that's why that Abyssal Lord himself went after Dredge and actually gave him the power. He saw a possibility. This guy knows stuff. This guy is messing with stuff that we want. Now, one thing that I can clearly say thanks to this teaser is that the story is not actually going to happen as we thought. We thought that the story would be like good guys, bad guys, paladins versus magistrate and so on. Magistrate being the bad guys, paladins being the good guys. As far as I'm concerned, there's bad things on both sides. All right, the idea of paladins of making the normal civilian to be able to use the power of the crystals, it's wrong. All right, because that would be the same thing as, for example, America, where everybody is allowed to use guns, which to me is still wrong. And the same thing would be here. If you give too much options to the civilians, then laws won't stop anything, because a lot of things could have been avoided if they weren't given that freedom in the first place. All right, and then we have the magistrate who they just want to control people, but in order to maintain order. So there's like two sides to the story, and to me both of them are bad and good at the same time. They have good things and bad things, but the story is not actually about this. The story is going to be between the Abyss and the Pyre, because we started to see some characters from the Pyre already, which, for example, Furia being the first one. All right, and then we also had some skins to take a little bit of a lore of the Pyre that came out with Furia. And we already have multiple characters from the Abyss, so we may actually see some more characters from the Pyre soon enough. I'm not saying that Io belongs to the Pyre. I mean, she's a goddess, but does she belong to the Pyre? That would be actually a huge information that they should bring in if it's true. And maybe Tigran is going to be part of the Pyre as well. Who knows, right? And then the battle is going to be between all of this, because the darkness is still to be released. I saw some people talking about that this third one, the one in the middle, should be the darkness. It's not the darkness, because if that was true, then Atlas just failed miserably, because this character is still getting into the game, and if he actually becomes a reality, then Atlas coming back to the past to stop the future from happening, well, he failed. He didn't do anything. And we get to know that Io is not going to be the one to stop the darkness in the first place, because if you think about it, Atlas had to come back, which means Io in her reality didn't do anything. She didn't stop anything. She maybe just delayed it at the time that we saw her reveal trailer and so on. One extra thing that I gotta mention, this circle, it's possibly what's going to give the power to that guy that we saw before and make him become Raum, right? He's going to become some sort of a demon, and if you search for, Raum and so on the internet, you get to find some things related to this. But this looks like to be a location related to the maps we have of the Abyss. Just take a look into the art around it, the stones, everything around it just reminds me of the multiple maps we have of the Abyss. So it's pretty simple to understand. This is within the Abyss. So maybe the core that was given to that guy by Ceres was just to help him reach here. And finally, the final Abyssal Lord may actually be revived into the Earth, the real world. We already have two of them wandering around, Ceres and Dredge, and maybe this one just needed to come out as well, so then can they just unite themselves and destroy everything. Maybe that's how the darkness actually gets released. That power that was stuck in the moon, maybe it was part of these guys as well, something related to them, because the darkness, the Abyss, it all fits in really good. And also one thing that I noticed is that maybe the fact that Ceres can see the future and so on, maybe she was even possible the one who forced Dredge to become who he is. Maybe since she became the first Abyssal Lord, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna try to revive the other two, and so I'm gonna do this plan, right? And the lore, it says that she appears in different places, doing different things that help her make the destiny that she wants to happen, right? So definitely Ceres is pulling the strings. At this point, I believe that's the true thing. I know I'm making a lot of talk with just a picture, but that's the truth. I just want to join all the lore together because there's a lot of people who are new to the game and they don't even know anything about this lore. And it's funny because I like this part of the lore, the Abyss and so on. It's really cool. Just before I end the video, there's also some sentences on the picture that says, "No force in the realm would expect this weapon. For this weapon is not of the realm." So he's basically just saying this weapon possibly being the power, all right, the demon power that goes into the realm. He gets on the circle, the transmutation circle, becomes Raum. He's now a new weapon. He has a weapon of it for himself, but of course it's not from the realm because it's from the Abyss. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to understand. So yeah, that's pretty much it for those who don't know anything about the lore. Now you do. I took a lot of time to explain it, but still there, and also give you a couple of possibilities. Of course, you guys can also give me your possibilities down below in the comments, which, by the way, I already did a video about the picture of yesterday, so if you didn't see it, go check it out. I'm still going through the comments on that video, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much. Keep up with the comments, the likes, and the subscribes. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, guys.